Hello, this is Judo Mood, the Azul backwards himself, Mr. Wizard Towers, coming to you, Sword of Life. So, Commander 2019 just came out, recently, spoiled, more like it. I don't know how late I am to the party, but, so we got the, commanders that are focusing around keywords, well, key game mechanics. And, so they, will focus not on, like, trample, haste, vigilance, double strike, but, certain key mechanics, in the game. So, we'll get to that in a minute. So, we have the Nyla, dude, which is green, white, red. Then we have the, Just Guy, which is a blue, white, red. Then we got the Sultai, which is a black, green, blue. And finally, we got the, Rakdos, which is black, red. And each one kind of focuses on one game mechanic, and that's their entire bit for the game. So I'm gonna splice in the pictures of these new commanders that just got spoiled out, and we're gonna talk about them. So the first one I want to talk about is the Nyla one, which is red, green, and white. I'm not sure what his name is. Like I said, this is all new and haven't learned their names yet. Give me a sec to look up the information. Alright, here we go. So, the names of each one is Gilhai, Conclave Exiled. He's a 2 red, green, white, legendary creature, human shaman, with 2 power 2, toughness 5. Then we got the Surveen, the Chronoclasm, which is a legendary creature, human wizard, 2/2. So, 2 humans, different jobs. It's a 5-drop 2 blue, red, white, the Just Guy. Then we got the Jean Falkland Ruff, which is a 3-drop 1 red, black vampire, legendary creature vampire, 1/3. And then finally we got Kadena, Speaking Sorcerer, which is a 4-drop Sultai, which is black, green, blue, and 1 colorless. And its power and toughness is 3. It's a Naga wizard. So let's talk about each one in depth and their game mechanics. So like I said before, Nyla is first on the list. Alright, so the first one up is the Nyla Gilhai, Conclave Exile. He's a 5-drop, 2 colorless, red, green, white, legendary, human shaman, 2 power, 5 toughness. When he ETBs onto the battlefield, create a 4/4 green rhino creature token with trample. And whenever he attacks, populate. That token enters the battlefield, tap and attacking. So not only do you populate, but you do populate the creature in tap and attacking. So, and to remind people, the reminder text, to populate, create a token, so just one, that's a copy of a creature token that you already control. And he's in the Nyla color, so he already has the green-white. So if you got the Jasani and air creatures in the conclave green-white color combination, you just splash in a little red, and there you go. You're off to the races. I'm also told that there's going to be a foil Surveen and a few rare cards that are going to be coming out in each of the Commander boxes, so those are going to be great for people. Anyways, he has a power of 2 and toughness of 5, so he has kind of a big butt. But so makes going in and attacking people pretty good, and you get a 4/4 Rhino token that with trample. So just a 4/4 vanilla with just so happen to have the keyword trample. And every time you attack, you get another one that's also attacking. So that's pretty great because you're constantly putting 6 damage on the board, and you're constantly have that trample coming in. And basically, the more you grow your team, the more 4/4 trample boys, rhinos. In the picture, it shows him lean large armies of oversized rhinos, which is awesome. And gonna splice in the image of Gilhan Conclave in this. You know, don't expect perfection like Josh Weekwai perfection. So I can already see like hammer of being thrown in, and anger and air cards to haste enable, so you can just constantly just keep running people over with wherever you get. And every time your creatures enter the battlefield, you can deal damage. You can have seismic tremors, so you can have green-white just making mass token armies, and then having red just deal damage because they're ETBing onto the battlefield. And then you just go in with hasty boys, just constantly fraying combat damage and ETB damage. So that's pretty good. I'm not really sure how well put together the decks will be, because the last few times the decks just weren't great. A great example was Windgrace in 2018. It just wasn't all put together, all there. But after some modding in you got a really good deck. Alright, so on to the next one. So the next one is Surveen, the Carnoclasm. Just don't say the orgasm. He is a 5-drop, 2 colorless, blue, red, white, legendary human wizard. So our second wizard in the deal, and our second human. And he has power of 2, toughness of 2, and his ability is prevent all damage that would be dealt to him. So in a way, he's indestructible because he prevents all damage to himself, unless there's something that says negate effect or whatever of that creature. So in a way, he is indestructible, but not really. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell from your graveyard, which is super important, each turn copy that spell. And then you can choose new copies for that, targets for that copy. So this is a pretty crazy one, because basically whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery from your graveyard, you make a copy. So she doesn't enable he probably, he doesn't enable grabbing them from the grave. He's just, if you just so happen to do it, you get copies. And it's only for the first one, so it's just not like I'm gonna sit there and make 20 copies in one turn and then go. So you have to find ways of casting them from your graveyard. And it says specifically from your graveyard, and it has to be the first one. So cards like Flashback and Retrace will be probably coming back, or they're going to be adding on to that. There are certain instants and sorceries within blue-red allows you to copy spells, cast spells out of your graveyard, more blue than anything. Surveen, the colonialism kind of reminds me of Kess, the Distant Mage, which is a Grixis black, red, blue. You can cast one spell from your grave each turn, and if that spell was cast, exile it instead of it being in the graveyard. So the major difference is that cast actually enables any spell that's in your grave to be cast, versus Surveen, which is just basically find a way to do it, and if you do, I'll help by making a copy. And his stats are not particularly great. He doesn't have any particular keywords besides the prevent all damage that would be dealt to him. So once you get him on the field, he's probably annoying to get rid of, especially if you have boots or gleaves on him. Just makes him even more. Now he's indestructible with Hexproof Shroud. At least with the last one, he enabled the populate, you know? He enabled to get where you need to be, you know? He enters with battlefield with a token, and he populate every time he attacks, and the token then attacks. Gets to attack with him. Surveen is just, if you just so happen to cast your first spell from your grave, copy it. You know, it's like you need an extra hoop to get to actually do the effect. I assume there's going to be a bunch of Retrace, Flashback, and Error cards in the deck to make it super easy, so we'll see. Moving on to the next one. Alright, so this is actually the most popular one, which is kind of weird in a way, but I mean, I can't really blame them. This one is Kadena, Squeaking Sorcerer. She is a 4-drop. Sultai, black, green, blue, 1 colorless. Legendary creature, Naga, wizard. She has 3 power, 3 toughness, and she focuses around the morph mechanic. So the first face-down creature spell you cast each turn costs 3 colorless mana less to cast. So essentially, you cast it for, if you're gonna morph, you're morphing it for free, because every morph is, you put face down for 3 colorless mana. So your first morph is always free, as long as she's on the battlefield. And then whenever a face down creature enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. So not only do you get your first morph free, you also get to draw. And then every draw after that, morph after that, still lets you draw more. So you just keep morphing down and you keep drawing cards. And then flipping them over eventually. So everyone knows about the Animorph morph deck, which is red, green, and blue, and everyone all has their own way of making the Animorph morph deck, but essentially, Animorph allows you to cast them down for free, all of them, eventually, once you have free counters on Animorph, then you can just drop your entire hand, then basically use only your mana to flip them over whenever you see fit. So, she's a little weaker than that because she only allows you to put your first morph down for free each turn. But she does allow you to draw each time you do that. So, when they ETB. And the thing is, I don't know about the black. I know there's green morph and there's blue morph, but how many black morph cards are there in the game? I'm not really sure. It'll be kind of interesting because I'm sure that they're gonna add more morphs to the deal, and especially probably to black, because I've never really seen besides like maybe Grim. Grim's a black morph card, so that'll be pretty cool. I bet the price of Grim's gonna go up quite a bit, because Grim's, whenever a creature enters the battlefield or dies, draw a card. Yeah, it's like die. So, but with her, you're gonna have to do some extra steps to really get her going. You're gonna have to add like a way to cheapen up your morph, putting them down each turn, and I do believe that there's gonna be some Megamorphs in the deck. There's already a mono blue creature, and it's gonna have the Megamorph, and it's gonna Megamorph for 2. 1 colorless, 1 blue. So, yeah. Moving on to the next one. Alright, so the last one is, I don't know how to pronounce this, but anyways. Jean Falkenrath. She is a 3-drop Rakdos, 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 red, legendary vampire creature with haste. She has 1 power and 3 toughness. She has the tap ability, tap her, discard a card, draw a card. Whenever you discard a card, if it has madness, untap her. So, you can, unlike Surveen, she actually has her built-in mechanic, because Madness needs a discard outlet to discard them to get their Madness costs in. So she enables that, so it's less hassle. And whenever you do discard a card, if it has the Madness mechanic, you get to untap her, which means then you can keep tapping her down to keep it going. So you can sit there and tap and untap and discard and draw 4 or 5 cards, and 4 or 5 cards could be Madness cards that you discard. Then all kinds of insaneness can happen because of that, so that's pretty cool. So unlike Surveen the Chronalism, you have to find a way to cast your instants and sorceries out of your graveyard, and it's only the first one. So she just basically, whenever discard a card with Madness, you can untap her. So you can have her attack and you can untap her. You can have her, and then whenever, kinda just basically limits the first morph for free, but every time you do put a morph onto the battlefield, you draw a card. And then Gilon, whenever he attacks, so you can only attack once unless you have a way to attack multiple times, which is very possible. Populate. So each one is limited to basically one per turn, except for Anjin, which is just basically I get to do it as many times as I can. And then Kadena, Swinkling Sorcerer, allows you keep drawing cards as long as you can keep playing morphs down. And then if somehow you can cause a bunch of battle phases, you can keep populating. So with Gohan, the Conclave Exile. So all of these are pretty good in a way. The only one I really don't like is the Surveen, the Carnalism, just because she doesn't have the ability. I mean, even if she had cards in your graveyard have flashback or something, or retrace, that would have been better. Or at least have that or something on her, so you can then at least have more ways of, because you have to go through so many loops with the Just Guy person. Everyone else is just already have the deal put on them. So that's it for all 4 of the creatures. Let me know what you think about these new Commanders that are coming out 2019. It's already August the 2nd? I want to say the 2nd. Yeah, 2nd. So these are supposed to be coming out sometime in a week or 2. Maybe 3 weeks. Definitely before September. So we only got a few weeks before these new Commanders hit the board, and we get to see what they get to do, and all of the air parts in the decks. I'm sure there's going to be more spoils and more stuff about them coming out. But now that we got to see the decks and everything, tell me what you think about each one. Tell me which one you want to buy. I want the Rhino dude, the Conclave Exile. And the main reason why is because I don't have a Nyla deck yet, and I already have a Rakdos, Satai, and Just Guy deck. So I'm trying to do the Commander challenge where you get every Commander deck of every color combination possible, which means you have to have like at least 33 decks to complete the challenge, which is very difficult. Almost there though. So, and I just don't really see the appeal of the Rakdos Madness dude. I don't see the hassle of, unless they just completely and utterly fill the deck with flashback / retrace. I don't know how good the Just Guy one's gonna be. Then the Sultai one, sure, you get the first morph for free, but after that you gotta keep dropping 3 mana each time to keep morphing your creatures, unless they have some way to make morphs cheaper. And then you also gotta flip them over too, which is more mana, which is a hassle. So what I like about the Nyla dude, he just ETBs, he makes the token, and then whenever he attacks, populate, and then that populated token will also be tapping and attacking with him. So very easy, very basic. It's not complicated, and just basically make more tokens, make more copies of your token dudes, and just keep hitting people with them, and just kind of have like a bunch of ways of haste enabling them, and have ways of making more tokens, have more ways of whenever tokens ETB, you have them deal damage or whatever, like war storage, and like seismic tremors and stuff in Porphyros. So you make 10 tokens, they all ETB, deal damage, and then when you enter the battle phase, they're hasty up, and then you just run people over with 4/4 trampler. So yeah, tell me what you think.